Hey everyone, welcome to Contemplations with Kristof number 3. I'm so thankful you're here. I'm so thankful you're tuning in, and I am so thankful of the reciprocation that I get from you all on a daily basis. I cannot wait to get into today's episode. I've been thinking about it for a few days, and I held off on recording just because I wanted to be able to give you the best content. I promise you from start to finish that this is packed with my honest to God truth, honest to God feeling about everything that we talked about in conversation number 46, and then a few requests as well. I am going to be brutally honest today with how I feel with some topics, and that's one thing that I am working on with myself, is becoming fully transparent and just fully growing into who I am on a daily basis, not caring what people think, in a sense of I understand that not everyone's going to agree with me, but this is what I'm going to say anyways. And I actually want to talk about that point too a little bit down the road within this episode. So I promise you, stay with me through this whole entire episode. I'm going to go over a couple things here. I'm going to go over some user requests first, talking about diet preferences, and then I'm going to get deep into conversation 46 with Justin Rhedrick. That's going to be a recap about how you get to a point where you're just sick of some shit, and I was too. We talked about that. Talk about you can't fear rejection. Talking about saying I love you and appreciating the hard moments in your life. Before we get started, you can find me on Instagram at Kristof Lewis, KRISTOFLEWIS. Email me if you are interested in breaking your mental and physical and career plateau. I was stuck in a lot of things that I was doing. I was in a good place though. That's something important to note. Just because you're in a good place, you can pay your bills, you're going to the gym, and you're not worrying about things really, but you want to do more. You want to be better. That's okay to have the mentality. You can still be appreciative of who you are and what you're doing in the moment and still seek more. That is okay. I'm here to talk to you about that. So email me at Kristof@KristofLewisPodcast.com. Let's get into it. Diet preferences. I want to first start out with saying, I'm not a doctor at all. I'm not licensed. This is just things that I've done, and I in no way going to hold any liability for this, but I will talk to you through it. I'll talk you through all of this stuff. So why, first of all, does this even relate to anything that I talk about careers? Well, if you're asking that question, then I'm glad you're here, because I would hope that most of you understand that to have a good diet relates to everything in your life. All of these things are always connected, right? So if you have a good diet, then you're going to feel better about yourself, because the fuel that you're putting in your body is just going to nourish your body better. And if you're going to the gym as well, and if you're reading, and if you're always etching away your brain by trying to learn and better yourself, then you do all these things together, then you are going to be a better person. You can't just do one little thing in your life, and you can't be working out and eat a shitty diet. That's not how it works. I'm so sick and tired, and I will tell you, most of the people in my life say, oh, it's okay, I had that, donut or whatever because I just ran a mile. That's bullshit. You can work out as much as you want, and if you still eat like shit, that's not acceptable. You can you can go drive your Ferrari for a mile, but then if you go put unleaded in it, it's gonna fuck it up. That's plain and simple. So it's completely, working out is different than the fuel that you're putting in your body. So for years, I lived by an 80-20 rule, where 80% of the time I ate really clean, and 20% of the time I ate not necessarily whatever I wanted, but I allowed myself to be more lenient. Now recently, I've moved to a 95-5. So 95% of the time I eat strict, really good food, what I know is good for me. Lots of greens, lots of healthy stuff all the time, plenty of protein. And then 5% of the time, I'll have ice cream, whatever, a burger. But that's 1-2 meals out of 21 meals out of the week. But that's it. So I don't diet in the sense of what a diet, the Atkins diet or keto, or I don't know. It's just you've heard it's a lifestyle. Well, yeah, it's a little cliche, but it's literally a lifestyle. It's like I don't diet or subscribe in diets, but what I do is this is my diet. My diet is, I know more or less what works for me, and that's a huge point to take away is we're all different. You have to find what foods fit with you. Foods affect people different ways, so don't ever think that one thing that works for somebody else is going to work for you and vice versa. Like you have to maybe go through things, go through food and test and see what works for you, what affects you, go on and so on and so forth. I can tell you that what I eat directly results in how I feel for the day. If I go out there and I slam a huge pizza, I love pizza, but I don't eat pizza anymore. Literally, I don't eat it anymore because if I eat it, I eat a lot of pizza and, even 2-3 slices of pizza and I feel like shit for the rest of the day or the night, and I literally don't sleep well either. Like I feel terrible. So it just depends on like, do you want to make a difference or do you not want to make a difference? Do you want to lose weight or do you not want to lose weight? You can lie to me, you can lie to everybody in your life, but you cannot lie to you. The facts are there. If you want to lose weight and you haven't lost weight, then pending a huge medical whatever in your life, it's your fault. Like, I'm sorry to break it to you. If you haven't lost weight and you don't have a serious medical condition, it is your fault. You can lie to your parents, you can lie to your spouse, you can lie to your whoever. It's your fault. Take some accountability, take some responsibility, and you are just not being strict enough with yourself. You have to figure it out. Plenty of other people in this life have lost literally hundreds of pounds and been able to lose the weight. So if you can't apply this to diet, then you are not going to be able to apply it to the rest of your life, to your relationships, and your career. That's why it matters. That's why this matters about careers, and that's why this ties together. So with conversation number 46, I love talking to Justin. Just remember, he was a life coach, a health coach, and he's all around great guy with some great knowledge. We talked about a few things, and it came up saying like, I'm sick of this shit. That was one of the things I said in the conversation. And honestly, it relates to me talking about diet just a second ago. There will come a time, if you want to do what I just said, let's go back to diet or your diet, there's going to come a time where you haven't lost a weight for months or years or a decade. I don't know. Maybe you're going to get to that point. I hope to God you get to that point where you look in the mirror and you just say, I am sick of this shit. I cannot deal with it anymore. It's happened to me before plenty of times, not just with diet, but with my career, with whatever I'm doing in my life. There's going to be a time where you're like, oh my God, here I am scrolling through Instagram again, or here I am just watching Netflix again, or here I am just sitting on the couch again, or here I am just driving around in my car again, or here I am doing whatever it is that isn't getting you closer to your goals. There's going to be a point where if you actually want to do better in your life, if you actually want to better yourself, there's going to become a point where you just stop. No shit, you're going to look in the mirror and you're going to be like, you're just going to stop and you're going to think to yourself, and be like, oh my God, I have to do something about, like, I have to do something about this. What I'm doing right now obviously isn't working. And as the saying goes, if you want different results, you're going to have to do different things. So if you've been trying to lose weight, but you can't lose weight, clearly that's not working for you and you have to do something else. If you want a better career and you've always tried to have a better career, you've always tried to make more money and you can't do that, you can't make more money, you don't have better friends, you can't have better friends, then you have to change what you're doing. It's clearly not working. Think outside the box. It's just math. If it doesn't add up correctly, if the numbers that you're crunching are not adding up to the numbers you want, then change the numbers, okay? If you aren't hanging out with the right people, then change the numbers. So if you truly are sick of you not making a change, then just stop for a second and ask yourself if you're really serious about making the change, and then go through with it no matter what. Which leads me to my next point. Number 2, good intentions are not good enough. You cannot just sit around hoping and having good intentions for yourself and the world around you. Like, if you want to make a change in your life, you're going to have to act. If you're going to change the world, honestly, I'm happy that you have good intentions to do this, but ultimately it means nothing unless you act on it and actually start making a change. It's like a bad relationship. The one person says they're going to change, they'll be better, but they never fucking do. Are you that person with yourself? Are you cheating on yourself? Like, if you say you're going to do something to change, fucking do it. Or don't say anything at all. It makes you feel better maybe that you're saying it, and I applaud you for saying it initially, but you just can't keep on saying it. I fully encourage you to write it down, but for Christ's sake, when you write it down and you say you're going to do something, do it, and then look at it every single day until you get it done. Number 3, you cannot fear rejection. You're going to have to get over this, and you're going to have to get over the fear of failure. You hear this literally all the time. You have to also get over what people think of you. Again, this goes back to my introduction. I know people aren't all going to agree with me, and I'm glad they don't agree with me. That means we don't have a million mindless drones running around, and we have some people with some fucking backbone. Like, be unique. Don't be 1 out of a million. Be 1 out of 1. Be you. Be who you truly are. You are going to get rejected. You're going to fail. You've heard all of this. You're going to have people disagree with you. So what? All that matters is, how do you react to all this? Will you learn from rejection? Will you learn from failure? Will you be relentless? You've literally heard all this. I didn't make this shit up, but what I am telling you is that it's all bullshit and lies you're telling yourself until you act on it and you don't give up. Next, I love you. Go find a mirror right now as I'm talking. I literally do not care if you're with someone, in the car, at work, whatever. Find a mirror and out loud, as you're looking at yourself, say, I love you. I want you to say what you're self-conscious about out loud, and then say, I love you. Do this repeatedly about everything that makes you uncomfortable. I'll start. I've had a hard time truly being me through this entire podcast, but I am slowly turning into the person I truly am, and I'm working on it every single day. I love you. I'm not near where I want to be in my life yet, but I love you. I was born with a crooked nose that's hard as hell to breathe through, and I can't smell shit, but I love you. Say it, and do this every single day. It's okay to have these things going on, but I love you. Next, appreciate the hard moments in your life. You must learn to appreciate these moments. This is life, and thankfully, we're not all blessed with an easy one. 100% of the people that I know in my life that have had an easy life given to them are not making a life worth living for themselves. Thank God, the universe, for throwing you to the ground when you get back up. Say, thank you. May I have another. It is through these moments that forge your inner being and carve out who you truly are. It is through these moments that we grow. We must tear down the muscle in order for it to grow. So challenge your mind. Allow it to grow. Life is tough, but you are tougher. You have to be willing to take these hard moments in your life. It's not a bad thing. You are going to be okay. I truly hope you all understand these things. When I say it, I mean it passionately. I stand by everything I say, and I absolutely hope you apply these things. Remember, all these things can be said, and that's fine, but it does not matter unless you apply them. If you want to make a change in your life, you have to actually act on it. And you may need help, and that's fine. That's what I'm here for. That's what other people are there for. I'm willing to help you. You can reach out to me at Kristof Lewis, KRISTOFLEWIS on Instagram, or email me, Kristof@KristofLewisPodcast.com. I'd be more than willing to have my own conversation with you and help you out. And again, if you like these episodes, please subscribe so you'll get each new episode, and rate 5 stars on iTunes and comment and tell me what you like. And thank you again so much for listening. Thank you so much for the support all of the time. I truly hope that I reciprocate the support and the value to you, and I hope you all have the best day ever.